Yes, sir.
Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanta Shanta Shanti. Now we are in the 8th Dhyana Shloka out of 9. We have completed 7. The first Dhyana Shloka is on Gita itself, looked upon as mother, and we offer our salutations, namaskara to Gita Amba. Then we offered our namaskara to the Pratana Shloka, Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe, which is the second Dhyana Shloka. Then to the teacher who milked the Gita, Amritam. So to him we offered namaskara through the third shloka, Prapanna Parijataya iti. Then the fourth shloka and the fourth shloka and the fifth shloka. The fourth shloka described the nature of Gita, and fifth shloka about Bhagavan Krishna, and the fifth shloka also is a prayer verse to Bhagavan Krishna. And again in the sixth Dhyana shloka, the characters of the Mahabharata were talked about, and it is compared to the Rana Nadi. We saw all the characters, including the Pandavas as well as the Kauravas, all they are nicely, in poetic way it was presented, and Krishna was the Devartaka, the boatman. And the next Dhyana shloka, description of Mahabharatam. May Mahabharata, in the Mahabharatam only this Gita is said, and that may the Gita, the Gita which is in the Mahabharata, Agashreyase, not only Gita, the whole Mahabharata. It is also considered to be Panchamo Veda, therefore the whole Mahabharata, and mainly the Gita. But the shloka is on Mahabharatam only, description of Mahabharatam in a poetic way. And now comes the next Dhyana shloka, which is on Krishna. Let us chant. Mukam karoti vachalam.
Mukam karoti vachalam.
Pangum langhayate girim.
Pungum langayate girim.
Yat kripatamaham bande.
Yat kripatamaham vande.
Paramananda Madhavam.
Paramananda Madhavam.
Aham bande, I salute. Vayam namaskaram kurmaha. To whom? To Paramananda Madhavam. Madhavam, Paramananda. Parama cha aso anandascha. The one whose nature is fullness, completeness. Who is that? Madhava. Madhava is the concert, the Lord of Lakshmi. Madhava. So, to Bhagavan, to Krishna, the Lord of Lakshmi. To him we offer our namaskar. It kripa tamaham bande. By whose grace Yat kripa tamaham bande paramananda. Yat kripa, by his kripa, what happens? Mukam karoti vachalam. Mukam means the dumb person, the mute person. Vachalam bhavati, he becomes an eloquent speaker. By whose grace, the muka can become an eloquent. Pangum, the lame person, can cross over the mountain. Girim langayate. By whose grace? To him I offer my namaskara. Madhava is another name for Lord Krishna, one who has all the resources and wealth with him, who is Bhagavan the Lord. The wealth is Lakshmi. Therefore, we say he is the Lord of Lakshmi. All the wealth belongs to him. Therefore, Madhava iti. I salute the one who is Madhava, Bhagavan. The Bhagavan we saw before, the one who has got a sixfold virtues in complete measure. It's called Bhagavan. Bhagaha asya asti iti. Bhagavan. The sixfold. Aishwaryasya samagrasya वीर्यस्य यशश्रियः ज्ञानवैराग्ययोश्चैव षण्णा भग इति रणा इति we have seen. The one who has got sixfold bhaga, the sixfold qualities, that's called bhaga. Then there is another shloka in this Vishnu Purana which describes Bhagavan. Utpattim pralayam chaiva bhutanamagatim gatim vetti vidyam avidyam cha savacho Bhagavan iti. There is a shloka in the Vishnu Purana which says, who is Bhagavan? He is the creator, Utpatti, and he is a sustainer, unto him all the beings finally resolve. Therefore, Bhutanam Agatim Gatim, and he knows Vidyam Avidyam. He knows what we know and he knows what we don't know also. So everything he knows. He is Sarvajnaha. Saha Bhagavan iti Vachyaha. He is called Bhagavan. So Utpattim Pralayam Chaiva Bhutanam Agatim Gatim, coming of the Bhuta and going, that is, Bhutas are in the samsara chakra, therefore the past and everything, karma pala, everything he knows. Veti vidyam avidyam cha, he knows everything. Avidyam vidyam, the known and unknown. Unknown also is known to him. What is unknown to us is known to him. Jiva being alpajnaha, he cannot have all knowledge. Bhagavan knows everything. So that is the definition of, another definition of Bhagavan, which is found in Vishnu Puranam. So therefore here, Madhava is looked upon, Madhava is Bhagavan. Madhava is Bhagavan. Bhagavan Krishna is looked upon as Bhagavan, and is Madhava, the one who has all the resources. Therefore, I salute the one who is Madhava, Bhagavan, and whose expression and essential nature is fullness, Parama Ananda, fullness. Lord's grace. This verse adds something more. Grace, that is important. Kripa. Grace is something that is earned. Grace is to be earned. It is not something that the Lord randomly distributes day by day. If he did, he would be partial, which is not the case. Grace is a graceful expression for karma pala. Karma is what you do, and pala is a result of what you do. So karma, every karma has its palam, karma palam. So which karma pala fructify, we don't know. So our karma pala, the right karma pala, I said right karma pala. That is the karma pala, the result which fructifies in a particular situation, which is beneficial for us, which pays the way for the success in our endeavor. That is grace. We don't know which karma pala will fructify which situation. So therefore, punya karma, what we did before, and that punya palam fructifying in the right situation, so that you are in the right place at the right time. That is grace. So that you achieve what you want to achieve. Grace. That's why grace is a graceful expression for karma pala. Then Prayer as an action. Prarthana is a prayer. Vachika. Vachika karma. Prayer is also a karma, an action. Because it is an action, it necessarily produces a result. The result is of twofold. Karma can be done through body, through mind, through the senses. Here, since we are doing through mouth, vachika karma. Karma can be done through body, the mind, or the speech, not by the senses. Sorry. Karma can be done through either vachika karma, manasa karma, or vachika. Vachika karma is speech. Sharira through kayika karma and vachika or manasa. Karma done through the kaya, the body is called kayika. Karma done through the mind is called manasa. Karma done through the vak is called vachika karma. So three karma can be possible through these three. So the vachika karma, that is prayer, pratana, it's also a karma, and as any other karma, it produces a result. And the result is of twofold. Drishtapalam, adrishtapalam. Drishtapalam, drishtam is seen, that which is drishtam, seen, available for your perception, available for your recognition. It is tangible, tangibility. Adrishtam is that which is not seen. Na adrishtam, adrishtam. So that which is not tangible, that which is not seen by you, perceptible by you, that is adrishtam. So therefore, the result of two types, drishtapalam and adrishtapalam. One example of a seen result is the psychological benefit of prayer. Prayer gives a benefit. What benefit? Psychological benefit. The very fact that you are able to pray itself is a benefit. The very fact you are able to pray itself is the benefit. Also, as a result of prayer, there can be the psychological benefit of having someone upon whom you can rely. Someone upon you can rely. Any individual has limitations, whereas the one you pray, whereas the one you pray to is looked upon by you as limitless. Even without understanding, the Lord is looked upon as one who is omniscient. What is omniscience? What is all knowingness? No one understands totally what it means to be omniscient, to be all knowing. To understand all knowledge, you must be all knowing. However, our knowledge is limited. From this limited knowledge, you can always know a little more, but that also will be limited. What we can very easily understand, however, is limitation in knowledge. So from that, we are able to appreciate that an omniscient person is free from limitation with respect to knowledge. This is what is meant by having an appreciation of omniscience. The knowledge what we gain is through the mind. Mind is limited, therefore knowledge is limited. That's why jivas are alpagyaha. But the jnanam, the knowledge of Ishvara is not like that. He doesn't have a mind. Doesn't have a mind means everything being is, the Jagat itself is his mind. Creation is not different from Bhagavan. Therefore, unlike us, unlike us, it doesn't have to operate the mind to know. So therefore, that's what all knowledge is. Everything is everything he can know. Not by an instrument. Mind is an instrument operating which we know, but Bhagavan is not like that. So that is the idea. So that is the idea. Therefore, the one who without a mind knows, that must be all knowing, all knowledge. Yes, all knowledge. Sarvajnaha, Sarvam Janati iti Sarvajnaha. He is a Jagat Karta. He knows the entire Jagat. As a pot maker knows how to make a pot, and he is a creator of the pot. Now he has got knowledge of the pot. Similarly, Jagat Karta has knowledge of the Jagat. The pot maker has got only the knowledge of the pot. With regard to other things, he is ignorant, but he is all knowing. Therefore, omniscient. who is the omniscient person? Is he or she another kind of person or one of us? There is therefore a great deal of knowledge to be known in order to appreciate Ishvara, the Lord. I invoke this Ishvara in the form of a prayer. The result of prayer. Prayer is a karma and it produces an immediate, a visible result. These are two types of phalam and one phalam which is produced immediately and it is visible. That you are able to invoke the Lord is the result. So you pray, you invoke the Lord in the murti and do puja. That is the immediate result. Whether you do puja, puja is also a prayer only. Whether you do puja or you take the name of the Lord, you are able to invoke the Lord. That is the phalam, immediate result. You have somebody to rely on, or someone who is all powerful, almighty, all knowledgeable, unlike anyone else. From this, you gain a certain strength, knowing that you can draw on this power to the extent that your capacity to draw on it follows. It is like having a huge reservoir of water. You need not bring all the water at once. It doesn't matter that your receptacle is small. Just knowing that there is so much water in the reservoir gives you a certain strength. Thus, the immediate benefit you experience because you are able to pray is that there is someone for you who is all knowledge upon whom you can draw whenever and as much as you want. That is the Drishtapalam. You can invoke the Lord. That is a Drishtapalam. So you can draw as much from him by prayer. That is a Drishtapalam. What do you draw? When you pray, you have some Shanti, some peace. That is Drishtapalam. So this is Idishtapalam, the seen result. This is what we call, that is another, and you experience it even as you pray. That is also another Idishtapalam, the unseen result of prayer. That is what we call grace, which account for benefits which we cannot attribute to a particular day's prayer. That is Adrishtapalam. What made me successfully complete a particular task? We don't know. There are unseen factors worked for us and made me successful. Adrishta, that which cannot account for which karma or which prayer, the result of which prayer has produced that result. That is Adrishta. So need to understand what is Drishta and Adrishta. Prayer, Prarthana, being a karma, produces two types of result. One type of result is Drishtapalam, which is immediate, a visible result, which is you are able to invoke the Lord. That is the result. And Adrishtapalam is the result of that is accrued into your account, and that you can that is encashed at the right moment. We cannot say right moment, or Bhagavan knows, but whatever Bhagavan, whichever moment Bhagavan gives, that is the right moment. So which comes to you at the time, which comes to you. If it comes to you at the right time, and you are at the right place, and if it is beneficial, makes you accomplish or achieve what you want, and that is the grace. That Adrishtapalam becomes the grace. So that is what we call grace. So grace is, as per Swami says, being at the right time at the right place. That is grace. That is because of the Adhishtapala, which is the result of the prayer, what we did before. So therefore prayer is important. How does grace come to you? Grace is earned in the same way you earn anything else. Since you are not able to relate an unseen result to a given course of action on your part in the immediate past, we are constrained to call this result grace. Therefore, grace is what you earn. It's a karma palam only. The unseen result, adrishta palam, comes to you because of the karma what you did comes to you. It is given by Bhagavan. When it will come to you, that we cannot say, that we don't know. Only Bhagavan knows. So we call it as a grace when you are at the right time at the right place. That is grace. This grace is able to convert a mute into one who is eloquent and enables a lame person to climb a mountain. So grace can achieve, grace can do, grace can make a person, a dumb person, to be an eloquent person, to be a great orator, and it can make the person who cannot walk, make him cross over the mountain. Kalidasa, the celebrated poet, is a very good example. Kalidasa, who wrote many kavyas, and Raghuvamsha is very famous. It's not like it's called the Shakespeare. Shakespeare, Shakespeare of Sanskrita poetry. Kalidasa, the celebrated poet. In fact, Shakespeare is only later. Kalidasa is first. So it is wrong to compare Kalidasa with Shakespeare. Shakespeare should be compared with Kalidasa. Anyway, so Kalidasa, the celebrated poet, was considered to be a mute, but because of grace, he began pouring out verses. Similarly, Valmiki became a great poet because of grace. In day-to-day life, we often hear various stories of the disappearance of incurable diseases. Cancer suddenly vanishes and no one knows how. We call it grace because the causes are not known. We can call such happenings grace, accident, or chance. However, a perceptive person with a certain maturity and understanding of Ishvara appreciates these unseen results as what we call grace. The invisible result of prayer. In a prayer, what you really release is an invisible force causing the Drishtapala, the unseen result. The very system, the laws that produce certain results which are not visible to us are reorganized by prayer. Certain elements are introduced through prayer into this invisible system, causing it to reorganize itself. However, we do not know how it will be reorganized. That is why the results are said to be caused by grace. So, our karma pala produces an invisible force that causes the adrishta pala. Grace, therefore, is something that we receive purely as a result of our own karma, actions done either in our immediate past or in the remote past. We don't know which janma we did. Kenapi punya karmana. This some punya karma we have done, that is a manusya janma is there. Manusya janma is a mixture of both papa and punya. Some punya karma is there, more of punya karma is there, therefore manusya janma is right. But when we did punya karma, we don't know. In the immediate past or in the remote past, only the grace is something of our karma pala, and karma when we did, we don't know. Because of this result, this grace, certain situations happen in our favor. What is generally taken to be impossible, it made possible by grace. In fact, all life is like that. The impossible is made possible. So this grace, because of grace, certain situations happen in our favor. That is what we call punyam. If the result of an action is successful, then we attribute to the Lord, saying that it is His grace. That grace is what we earned through previous karma. And Bhagavan has given the grace at the right moment. He has given the karma pala. He has given the karma pala at the right moment. That is what we call grace. So receiving the karma pala. So what is grace is receiving the karma pala at the right time, at the right place is what we call grace. So Bhagavan is involved. It's not that purely you accomplish this. In fact, your accomplishment is there. 50% Bhagavan's is there. Grace is what you earn, no doubt. It is the result of your karma pala only, but given by Bhagavan. When? That Bhagavan only knows. Only when comes to you the karma pala, the punya karma pala come to you at the right time, then only it is beneficial for you. That is called grace. When you don't need, when you can accomplish, like for example, a rich person already is rich. If he wins a lottery, what difference is going to make? Similarly, whereas a poor person, if he wins a lottery, he is poor and family is suffering, that time he needs money. So right time he gets money, that is grace. So that's the difference. A rich man also did punya karma. This person, poor man, also did punya karma. So the poor man getting money, winning a lottery, right time. That time when he needs the money, that time he gets, that is grace. For a rich man, already has got money. So winning the lottery doesn't make any big difference. Even though that is also a grace only, but for a rich man, it doesn't, the money what he wins, it doesn't add anything. So therefore, the time or the situation when the our punya karma comes on from Ishvara, we don't know. If it comes at the right moment, we call it as grace. With this verse, I salute Bhagavan, the one by whose grace the mute becomes eloquent, the lame scales mountain tops, the one by whose grace impossible is made possible. Then the final verse of the Gita, Dhyanam, describes the various things who praises all-knowing Lord. Again, it is Namaskara to Bhagavan. The last Dhyana shloka we will read. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi. Please chant.
Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marudaha Stumvandi Divaistavai
Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadai Gayanti Yam Samagaha
Vede Sagatha Bhakramo Panishadai Gayanti Yam Sagama
Samaga
Samaga
Dhyanavasthitatadgatena manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha
Dhyanavastita Takshtatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha
Yasyantam Navedusura Suraganaha Evaya Tasmai Namaha
Yasyantam Navidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha.
So, Namaskara is offered to the Bhagavan, to the Lord. Tasmai Namaha, Tasmai Devaya Namaha. We offer Namaskara to the Lord. To the Lord, Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha. Brahmaji, Varuna, Indra, Rudra, and Marut, all the devatas praise him. Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Maruta, all the devatas, Stunvanti, Divyaihi, Stavaihi, with divine hymns, with beautiful hymns, shloka, Stunvanti, they praise. Vedai Sangapadakramopanisadaihi, Gayanti Yam Samaga. Samagaha means the singers of Samaveda. They praise the Lord by singing. Samagaha Vedaihi Sanga Padakramopanishadaihi. So, Padakrama, all these are the chanting, the limbs of chanting. Padakrama, different way the chanting methods are there. So, the limbs of chanting. Padakrama, Jata, Ghanapata, Ghana. So, therefore, the one who is praised by the Samaveda, which is done, which is a Samaveda, that is, it is Anga Padakrama Upanishadaiki, which is done with the limbs of Padakrama and also by the Upanishad. Upanishad also alone reveals Bhagavan, therefore, Yanavastita Gatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha. So, first line talks about these all these devas. Second line talks about the Samagaha. Devaha, they worship Ishvara, Bhagavan, Divyaihi Stavaihi. Second line, Samagaha, Samaganam Gayanti. Yes, Samagaha. They praise Bhagavan with the chanting, Vedic chanting, with a different pata, that is Krama Jata, Krama Jata, Pada Krama Jata, then Gana, etc. All these different types of chanting, Gayanti. Third one is Yoginaha. Yoginaha, yogis. Dhyanavastita, Tadgatena. There's a typo. Tadgatena manasa. Dhyanavastita Tadgatena manasa. So the yogis, the people who meditate, contemplative people, manasa pashyanti, they see with the mind. When in the state of meditation, whom did they see? Bhagavan. Yasyantam na viduhu. The end of him, nobody knows. The end of Bhagavan. That is, Sura Suraganaha is, Sura is Devatas, Asura is demons. The Gana is their group. So, Yasya Antam na viduhu Sura Suraganaha. These Devas and the demons, Rakshasas, they cannot know the nature of Bhagavan. Yasya Antam is Anadi Anantam na viduhu. To him I offer my namaskara. That is the meaning. To the Lord about whom Brahma, Varuna, Indra, Rudra, and Marut Devatas praise with the divine hymns, that is Divyaihi Savaihi, the one, the singers of the Samaveda, Samagaha, they praise by singing with the full complement of the limbs of singing in the order of Pada, Krama, and the Upanishads. The one whom contemplative people, Yoginaha, see with the minds, is resolved in him in a state of meditation. Then Surasura Ganaha, whose nature the celestials and demons do not know, unto him my salutations, my namaskara. The word Deva has got different meanings. The root meaning is that which is effulgent. It is in the Div Dhatu, Divyati, Iti Devaha. So, Deva can refer to any god, a celestial, or even a sense organ. The Lord is also called Deva, meaning the one who is all knowing. Unto this Lord, my salutations. Praised by exalted beings. Who is his Lord? He is the one about whom all the gods from Brahmaji downward sing hymns of praise. In addition to Brahmaji, the words specifically mention the Devas, Varuna, Indra, Rudra, and the Marut Devatas. Even though these Devas are exalted beings, they are still Jivas, individuals only, occupying special positions. Their songs in praise of Ishvara are found in the Vedas. Praised by scholars. Those who are capable of capable to sing the Samaveda can also praise the Lord. To sing the Vedas, one must have knowledge to do so. 6 other disciplines of knowledge are required. They are called Shadangas, 6 limbs. They are phonetics, Shiksha, grammar, Vyakarana, rituals, Kalpa, etymology, Nirukta, prosody, Chandas, and astronomy with astrology, Jyotisha. The reciters of the Samaveda with the full knowledge of these 6 limbs, Veda Anga, in Mundaka Upanishad we have seen Tatra Rigvedo Yajurvedaha, Samaveda Tarudvedaha, Shiksha Kalpo Niruktam Vyakaram Jo, Chandas Jyotishamiti iti, Veda Anga. There are 6 limbs, Anga. The 6, with the full knowledge of the 6 limbs, they sing in praise of the Lord, the hymns of the Samaveda, in the form of Pada and Krama, along with Upanishads, which reveal the truth of the Lord. Praised by contemplative people. Then there are contemplative people who meditate upon the truth of Ishvara, whom they see very clearly. How do they see? Not with their eyes, with their minds. Manasa Pashyanti. What kind of mind? A mind that is in a state of contemplation, a state that is absorbed, tranquil, and subtle. These people contemplate again and again with minds that are awake to the true nature of the Lord, which they have come to appreciate through listening to and analyzing the Shastra, the Ishvara, the teaching. So Yoginaha is Jnana yogis who have listened to Shastram, they have done Shravanam, Mananam, and Vidyasam. So they see with their mind. Manasayeva Veditavya. Tottavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nividyasitavyaha, Bantavyaha, Mananam, iti. When praised by others, there are people who praise the Lord as one with a form and attributes. The whole creation with all of its glory is nothing but the Lord's form. There are others, yogis, who see the Lord as formless, whose nature is not known by either gods or demons. Even though these gods are all exalted beings, they do not necessarily know that they are limitless. Being a god or a celestial doesn't mean that person is enlightened. Self knowledge is not something that comes with an exalted position. They must have a means of knowledge, pramana, to know this truth about us themselves. Thus, salutations are offered to the Lord who is praised by the gods and demons alike. The demons also praise the Lord to gain various powers by his grace, and by the singers of the Samaveda, whom the contemplative people realize in their meditation and whose glories even gods and demons know not. Thus, these 9 verses, Dhyana Shlokas, praise the Gita in general. First, the Mahabharata, in which the Gita is placed, is praised. Then Lord Krishna is praised as a boatman, because of whose tact and grace the Pandavas were able to cross the great river of battle with all of its hurdles. The Gita herself is also praised, after which Vedavyasa, the chronicler of the Mahabharata, is praised, because of whose grace we now have the Gita. Arjuna is recognized in these verses as being its nimitta, cause without him there would be no Gita. Because Arjuna asked for it, we have the Lord's song, the Bhagavad Gita. Life as we know it, that it is samsara, is considered to be a river of battle, Rananadi, in which people drown. The verses do not tell us how this river can be crossed, nor do they mention Krishna's grace. We simply need to understand that boatman is Krishna, the Lord. Krishna is the one whose grace enables us to cross. Having invoked the Lord's help by this prayer to the Gita, we can now commence our study. Before we begin the first chapter, we will see briefly the context in which Gita is set and its purpose. So with this, Dhyana Shloka is over. 9 Dhyana Shlokas which we chant before Gita Bhashyam class. The author of this shloka, not known, some say it is Madhusudana Saraswati, found in Gurata Deepika, they say. So we don't know. What are maybe these 9 shlokas? To 9 shlokas, we offer a namaskara to Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna, and to Veda Vyasa, and also and to the Lord in general, as in the last shloka. And there are descriptions of Mahabharata, and there are descriptions of the characters in the Mahabharata. Not descriptions, it is imaginative presentations of the characters, like in Parasharya Vachasarojavangalam. So, with this, the prayer verses, Dhyana Shlokas are completed. Now comes the Gita, but we will see the context in which the Gita is, but for which we have to know a little about the background, that is the story. We need to know the story of Mahabharata, if not in detail. Yeah, a short way, briefly. That's why somebody said briefly. Briefly, we have to see the context. Context means the story. The story in which the Bhagavad Gita took birth. Bhagavad Gita took birth in the Rananadi, in the battle. But why they come to the battle? Why they come to the Kurukshetra, Pandavas and Kauravas? Even though they are born the same clan, Kurus. They both are called Kurus. Both are called Kurus. But why they have come to fight? Well, to know that, we need to know the story of the Mahabharata. That is going to be the next topic, the context of the Gita. The context which made the Gita happen. Not the whole story of Mahabharata, important mentioning of the characters of the Mahabharata and the story in brief. That is going to the next topic. We will see in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi